Good blessed morning to you all. Look at this. Little bit of sunshine. It's a fantastic start to the week, isn't it? Little bit of wind as well, which is wonderful because it makes everything so fresh. The birds are singing. The buds are beginning to thicken and open. Just hear the wind now. The little peach trees here are beginning to come into leaf. These are the little ones grown from seed. I'm still waiting very optimistically to see blossom, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a little bit of blossom this year. But if not, then definitely next year. There's a beautiful, beautiful big bee up there. Oh, two big bees. Two big bumblebees. They're just loving the ribes. Absolutely loving it. Such clever, wise little creatures. Because they all stayed in hibernation until it was just the right time to come out. They seemed to know that spring was late. And so they stayed put, snug in their little hibernation nests. Just overnight there seems to have been a massive amount of greening up. And these are the black currants, and there's leaves and buds of flowers. Look at that. Going to have a massive black currant crop this year, and of course all that will be thanks to the bees. My little workers, they've been up since dawn working away. Little buds opening on the apple trees. See, this is what happens, you know, when spring is a little bit late. When she does finally decide to get into gear, it's just full steam ahead. Nothing's going to stop her. Oh, there's another beautiful bumblebee. Look at that. Look at that. They move so fast. Oh, there she is. There she is. Turning all those beautiful flowers on the ribes into seeds for the birds, into little berries for the birds. They seem to work so hard for each other, these little creatures. Mother Nature, she's so clever. The great force of nature. What an amazing intelligence. In fact, intelligence doesn't even begin to touch on what this is. It cannot be equalled by human design, not on any level. Despite that, we think we're so clever. Oh, children. That's what we are. We're children. And we should enjoy being children on this beautiful, beautiful earth. Jack! Jack? Oh gosh, I hear a chainsaw somewhere in the background. Happy boy! Let's go into the tunnel. As the sun's just gone back in behind the clouds. If we go in here, come on Jack. Come on. it'll be nice and warm, which it is. It's actually balmy in here. Oh, and because it's balmy, there's all these beautiful smells, all these wonderful scents. Gorgeous. My glasses are steaming up a little bit. Look. I'll stick them off. Okay, this is like the blind leading the blind now. Let's have a little look to see what's happening. Oh, yes. I see some growth down there on my courgettes. Look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves on that. 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves on the other one. And the cucumbers, yeah. And the tomatoes are beginning to pick up. Let me see now. That one looks a wee bit not too well, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, wow. Lovely. I'll have to open both doors here today because it's got a little bit too steamy. And I need to make sure that the little bees are able to come in and go out. And if there's an airstream going through the tunnel, you see, that helps them. Now, my mange too are coming on very well. They'll have to be planted out shortly. And my peas. Oh, look at this. A little bit of humidity and heat seems to go a long way with these little lettuce. And I've got some little lettuce coming up here as well. I forget what seeds I scattered in there. I know I put the peas in, but I'm sure I put others in as well. Oh, I never did get into this labelling. I know I should. Now, so we'll just open up this door here. Just bolt it open. Got to go to the post office. Got some books to post. Oh, my little Lunacy garden is certainly taking shape. There's some big dock leaves over there. I must cut them. Do a bit of chop and drop. But all the perennials are beginning to come up. Of course, once they come up, they seem to nudge the perennial weeds out of the way. Now, there we go. Oh, look at that. And there's just a big wave of humidity coming out of there. Oh. There we go. That's gorgeous. Oh, to stand here just and soak up that warmth is lovely. No, there's a lot of life down here, and I see some cleavers there. Now they are brilliant for sort of cleaning out the system. Especially the lymphatic glands, you know, and your lymphatic drainage. So I'm going to be pulling some of those cleavers and making some tea later on. This, of course, is day 20. Let me see. Pull yourself together, Colette, and stop this. Yes, it's day 28 of my juice fast. And I have lost 28 pounds. Exactly 2 stone. Isn't that amazing? I am so thrilled. I'm wearing my 16 size jeans. And I'm feeling so limber and so energized. And you can probably hear my voice sounds different from, say, how it was a month ago. And if you go on to any videos created, say a month ago, okay, and just listen to my voice and then compare, you'll understand what I mean. So, there's a little bit of blossom just beginning. Let me just put my glasses on again so I can focus in. Coming out on the blackthorn. Look at that. Beautiful. And my beautiful magical stone circle with all its lovely willow planted around it. This is my special energy place. I love just to be up around here. There's a very restorative and calming energy to be found in this little spot. And this is why I put the stone circle right on the very edge of the land. Well, there's a little girl. Oh, I thought she was over here having a little bit of nibble of the grass for her digestive system. Oh, it's lovely. Beautiful day. A beautiful, beautiful day. Lots of growth happening on the willow. And also look at the sycamore. The sycamore is budding up. It rained last night. Oh, look at this. These are the little cuttings of black currant, look, that I stuck in the earth. And look at them. They look as though they're going to really take now this year. I think I put them in last year, along with these little spirea cuttings. And of course it helps if you go along, now and again and just clear the couch grass and the weeds from around them and give them a little bit of a feed. It helps them to get their roots down below all that, all those kind of top weeds. Some beautiful, beautiful celandines, masses of flowers. And a great big bank of celandines over there. Celandines and primroses. Aren't they beautiful? And of course there was a little bit of a willow fedge along here which I took out because it had died back. But I had 2 years before that put lots and lots of these little spirea cuttings in, and you can see now, now that I've cut them back as well, that they've created a hedge. So this year we're going to have a lot of spirea along here, which of course flowers and provides wonderful food for both the bees and the birds later on, because the little birds love to eat the seed heads of the spirea. Now look at this wonderful Ribes sanguinum. And that was just a cutting. In fact, all the ribes here, every single one of them, have been grown from cuttings. Just a cutting stuck straight into the earth. Now that's become like a little tree almost. It's beautiful. So I'm just going to let that go as it is. And of course this little hedge here, you see the little box hedge? They were all just cuttings that I stuck straight into the earth as well. Oh, it does make me cross when I listen to that nonsense from the EU. From the EU idiots. Oh, this is poor land. We've designated this as poor land. It's now eligible for grants to plant Sitka spruce and destroy the west of Ireland. On your bike, EU. I've proven you wrong. One woman 3 acres, no grants. I've taken you to the cleaners, the lot of you. Damned idiots. Sorry. I'm not going to rant. No, I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to rant. I'm going to continue on here with my little walk. Oh, there's a naughty girl up the tree. Beauty. She says, I don't care. And there's my little fairy tree, my little hawthorn. Look, it's out in leaf. So let's dander on. Eventually got that big piece of tree trunk that was sticking out cut away. That of course is another little compost heap over there. Compost heaps everywhere. Wood piles everywhere. Look at all this growth. My beautiful oak tree, another beautiful oak tree. I've planted quite a few oak trees here at Bealtaine, and they've all done well, regardless of where I've planted them. And that's a lovely little weeping hawthorn. There's a wee girl beginning to follow me. My lovely beech tree. I've put a lot of wool around that beech tree because that feeds it. Every time it rains, we've got a lovely sort of wash of goodness down into the soil. So it builds the soil and feeds the plants. So, oh, and there's another little four-legged friend. And he's come out to eat a wee bit of grass too. He says, I need this for my digestion, Mum. We walk round the front. It's all filling out and colouring up. That's what spring does. She fills everything out and colours everything up. And I put some more compost along here, round the plants, and I've put some little primulas in, along there. And I've been putting compost around things. So I've put some compost down along there, around the clematis, because we're going to have lots of flowers on that soon. And some compost there just by the pyracantha, which looked a bit pearly. It's come into the year a little bit pearly looking, but we'll soon sort her out. Give her a good feed. I'll just walk down a little bit. Don't want to walk down too far because, let me see now. Oh, we're at 18 minutes. So I've banked up lots of compost and compost around that little rose that kind of sat in about an inch of earth for most of last year. So I've just given her the heads up there. I think I've been followed. So what I was doing yesterday was thinning out the bamboo down here because a lot of it had died. And you see, this is, again, you know, for all the people who actually are talkers rather than walkers, who say to me, oh, you shouldn't plant bamboo, it's invasive. It cannot invade if it doesn't have the space to invade. This bamboo doesn't have the space to invade. So every few years I've got to go in and take out all the dead bamboo. You can see there's still a little bit more left in there, which I have to remove. And you can see just how just how much thinning out's happening, because a lot of the stuff in the middle is dying. It doesn't really have any room to move, and you can see where I've cut back loads of it here, and there's another few piles which I've moved further down the garden there, and there's a massive amount on this side now which I have to take out because I've planted trees around it. Look, there's a birch tree, there's a sycamore tree, there's a beech tree. It only has this little bit here to move out into, and that's okay. It can move as far as here. That's fine. So it can only really move in one direction. So, but I do find that there are so many people who are so quick to jump onto the bandwagon, the advice bandwagon. Oh, I must just, make sure that Colette, because she doesn't know very much, must make sure that she knows that bamboo is invasive. I'll tell you what's invasive. We're invasive. We go in and we take everything out and occupy the space. Whereas instead, we need to plant. We need to plant like our lives depend upon it, because they do. Now this little ditch is moving water very well indeed. Nice little flow on there. Nice little flow off that way. And I went along the mound of silt, and I put, again, little cuttings in. So just about halfway down, I've got to complete that today. So, there's the sun back out. Oh yes, I'm just looking now and I can, masses and masses of blossom ready to break out on this cherry tree. Would you look at that? That is just amazing. Look at the masses of blossom just ready to break. That's just going to be stunning when it happens. Fantastic. I've got lots of this beautiful box to cut, just to trim back, and when I do, as I always do, excuse me, you know, when I'm trimming, what I do is I just take bundles and bundles of the cuttings and I go along and I just put them in wherever. No plan, just plant. That's another good motto. People, when they get a little bit of land, they don't plant because they think, oh well, I have a plan, I have a design, this is how I want it to be. Well, I say no plan, just plant. Go in with a plan later when you've got the time to dick about. No plan, just plant. There's a lovely little piece of bog oak down there. I'm just sat on the bench here, look, just by the kitchen window. See? This is a perfect little spot, especially when the wind is blowing from the east, because of course there's the There's the little porch jutting out, the little porch that I built onto the cottage with my €22.50 windows, which I got second hand. Cheap and cheerful. So this little bed here, I was putting some compost into it yesterday, but I've got a little bit of work to do on it. This is my little rustic bed, which looks fabulous during the late spring and summer and right up to autumn. You can see all the acrolegia. Now I have lined my little fire grate with sphagnum moss, which is everywhere. In fact, I could single-handedly become an exporter of sphagnum moss because it's growing everywhere. But I'm going to be putting some flowers in there today. Yes, definitely today. I'm not going to be messing about. She says, lolling about on a bench. Oh, it's a very comfortable bench, I must say. Very comfortable. Oh, I want to say a mighty thank you to Kieran Ryan. Kieran, thank you so very much because you've made a donation towards trees, and happily enough I do have a few more little spots to fill, and the donation that you've made will get me 2 beautiful trees, pot grown trees, which of course will be delighted to be freed into Bealtaine Cottage, into the Goddess Gardens. So on that note, now I should really just get up from here and go in and get on with things. Gosh, I'm tempted to sit here all day, it's beautiful. Watching the birds, and there's the wind turbines over there on the mountain. But I must bid you farewell. So blessings to you all, and have a lovely day and have a lovely week ahead.